So I've reached a little bit of a standstill when it comes to my photography, and I just have too many damn photos, and I don't know what to do with them anymore. So I guess I'm gonna start making shitty YouTube videos to put them all together and try and make something out of it. Recently, I got my probably nicest camera. It's a Mamiya RB67. It's a medium format camera that shoots 6x7 format. And I recently took a dive into color photography for 120. I've only ever done black and white film on medium format because I can develop it myself and don't have to worry about the expenses of developing and scanning at the lab for color film. But recently I've realized that it's the cheapest option to shoot color and then just develop it only at the lab and then scan it yourself, which is what I've been doing. I recently have been sampling basically every film stock that I can get my hands on for 120 format before my big travel plans this summer, and I shot some Cinestil 800T and some Cinestil 50D, two ranges of the Cinestil spectrum. I've loved the look of Cinestil 800T on 35mm. I've taken some of my most impressive shots that I've taken so far on that format, so I was really excited to kind of experiment with medium format. This first picture right here turned out to be almost what I wanted it to be. If I had to change anything, I would actually push in just a little bit more. The current lens the only lens I have for this system right now is the Secor 65mm, which is about equivalent to like a 36mm something lens on 35mm. And it's super, super sharp, don't get me wrong. It's just, for this shot in particular, I would have loved to frame up a little bit closer to the neon, although that would probably get me run over in about 2 seconds, but that's besides the point. There's so much about this image that I love. This was a random stop by to see what I could find kind of thing. I parked kind of next to the fire station and then walked down. If I remember correctly, this was about a 4-second exposure, and it had some great consequences because of that. Some of the stuff I really love are the ghosting on the crossing signal. You can see both the guy and the hand, as well as some weird blending between the numbers. On the left side as well, there's that classic long exposure tracers from the cars going by, and then something about the lighting on the traffic signal up above is really, really ghost-like, and it's getting that Radiator Springs type feel to it, which is something I greatly want to replicate. That's my whole reason for shooting nighttime and neon, is to really replicate that kind of old style Route 66 kind of feel wherever I can. I'm torn between these gas station shots because on one hand, the Citgo has a really great subject, but something was happening with that lower part. I don't know if it was the scanning or if it was the conversion or what, but there was some weird artifacting going on below. I love the framing of this picture. I love the subject and just how everything about it is just great. The second gas station photo, it's got great lighting. It just lacks a little bit of a subject, and it's crazy the fall off between the light and the shadows. And once again, the sharpness on this is unbelievable. For an 800 speed film, you would expect it to be really, really grainy, but given that it's medium format, you really get some of just the most sharp pictures that I've ever seen. This shot was a little bit disappointing for me, honestly. The goal of this picture was to get real separation between the foreground, the midground, and the background. Foreground being the pillars right up front, the midground being the light and the chairs, and the background is just looking into the building. I think where I messed up here is in my metering. I guess I was metering from my phone because I had forgot my other meter, but I guess the spot I chose was more into the highlights than I was expecting it to be. I was really hoping to get some of the outside as well, but it still is a great isolation shot. It's just not entirely what I was going for originally. This is a photo that legitimately took about 10 minutes for me to sit and frame and figure out if I even wanted to take it. And I said it before taking it, I'll say it again. I really wish there was just a blank wall behind those vending machines. I love the subject. I love how they're standing out. It's just that window on either side of them really, really breaks the immersion. I just wish it was kind of like a lighthouse where it's that point light source with the vending machines and then leading off into darkness without the extra noise of the lights in the background. This shot, I love this shot so much. This is probably the most liminal photo I've ever taken. And I don't know why, but this kind of reminds me of a Gmod map. I can't for the life of me remember which one, but it just has that kind of feel to it. I meant for metering into the highlights. This is exactly what I wanted to come out of this picture. Cinestil 800T is probably just the GOAT of night photography in my opinion. Like, it has a really unique character and can't be mistaken for any other film stock from what I can tell. It definitely holds up in the transition from 35 to 120 film and is going to be a part of my bag for as long as I'm shooting this format. And I just love the tonality. I love the halations. I love how you can really isolate your subject if you really want to. And I just love the mood that it brings. If you want to check out my portfolio and the rest of the stuff that I've put up in the past, a link to my website will be in the description, as well as my Instagram. This is kind of just a whatever project, but hopefully I can work towards getting some proper... I mean, who am I kidding? It's a complete Grainy Days ripoff. But, you know, it's out of love.